Had an amazing day today. If you haven't read the title, I want to show you just a tease of how it ended up. Yes, that was today. That little shot, if you can look really closely, there's just a bucket list item in that picture, and I was able to check it off today. So let me tell you a little bit about how that went down. If you've watched my video I released, I think it was last night. I was wearing a white shirt and tie. I was saying I was going to a church meeting, but I told you a little bit about a permission I had got. That the family that owned the property actually approached me and said, hey, we've got a property, it's got some history on it, old homestead, used to be a plantation site, and we'd like you to metal detect it. And how often does that happen when a permission comes to you and asks for you to metal detect it? So I obviously jumped at the chance. Found out that it was 100 acres of property, and got it lined up to go out Saturday morning, which was today, and detect it. And this property on paper looked amazing. There's a ton of old barns. They have a mule barn. They've got a tractor barn. They've got two tobacco barns. They have 2 bathhouses. There are 2 wells on the property that are still open. I still need to get a magnet down in there. There's an outhouse we were able to locate. All this stuff, and this dates back to the mid 1800s, which is just super exciting. And so I went out there with I took 3 metal detectors. I took my Equinox, I took my XPRX, and I also took my Simplex, and went out there, and the family was out there with their little boys, and so I gave the XP and the Simplex to the 2 little boys, and we sort of followed each other around the yard looking for targets. And from 8:30 in the morning till noon, we pounded this site. And we've got 90-degree weather with about the same level of humidity. It was super soggy. We've had just massive storms in the last couple days with flooding and everything, so I'm completely drenched from kneeling in the ground. Every target we're digging up is a cut nail. It's a piece of aluminum. It's just nothing. Eventually we found 2 modern pennies near the surface, and right at the end of the dig I found an old radiator cap. It was probably about the size of a 50-cent piece. I'm not sure what it went to, but it was just really crusty. And I also found a wheat penny that was really also in awful condition. The home itself looks like this. Let's see if you can see that there. That's a picture of what the home used to look like. It had 3 chimneys, one on each side there, and then one for a kitchen in the back that you can't see in the picture. The 2 chimneys are gone, and the one in the back is still standing. But I checked everywhere around this house, and there's nothing. I've got to think that somebody who was very thorough had hit that property, probably without permission, it sounds like, which is sad. But there was just not any of the coins or artifacts you would expect on a property of that age with that much activity on it. But as I was out there with the family, met some of the other family members that live in the area, it came to my attention that there's another property just around the corner owned by an aunt that a great uncle, or not great uncle, an uncle, I don't know, a distant relative who's elderly but still alive, had an experience as a kid that really piqued my attention. So I want to play a little video here so you can hear what that was like. Here we go. That was a bust. We have pounded this little site. Well, pounded by ran all over it. There's still a lot of area we haven't put a coil over soil, but this site has I walked all over it, checked it all out. There's tons of outbuildings, tons of barns, 2 tobacco barns, a mule barn, 2 bathhouses, just all sorts of stuff all over there. And I just pounded it, and all we have to show for it is 1 old wheat penny, and it looks like 20 something for the year. I don't know, so it's a little toasted. Anyway, we get this closed. Well, over there, met with the family, and a lot of the area here was
owned by the same family. So they said, oh, well, Grandpa so-and-so lost a $5 gold coin in his front yard when he was a kid. And he's 80, whatever, I don't know. But it was something he had. And so now we're headed there to go check it out. So with a little luck, we may break our curse. Let's see what we find.
There we go. All right, so so that was me leaving the first property and going to the second property. The second property was not what you'd expect. Let me turn that off. Not what you'd expect a property to be if you're looking for gold coins. It's smaller. It's a much smaller house, just very, very simple. And it turns out the story that went to this was that this older gentleman, who's 85 now, I believe, when he was a little boy, he got into his grandma's or his mom's jewelry box, and she had in there a gold coin. We don't know how she got the gold coin or what it was from, but that's the first time we know was that she had it in the jewelry box. And he took it out of the jewelry box and put it in his pocket. And then they're playing in the front yard and they're doing handstands. These little boys are playing, doing handstands. And at some point while he's doing handstands in the front yard, that coin slips out of his pocket into the grass, and it's gone. And he knew that it fell out there, and they spent hours looking for it, hours and hours looking for it, and eventually had to confess that they lost the coin. He was torn up about it, and he talked about this forever. Like, it still bugged him. The family tells him he still really regrets losing that coin. And so when I heard that story, I said, definitely let me go, let me try to find it. If nobody's detected it before and they know where they found it, there's a great chance of recovering it. And turns out that it was really good. So let me play just a little. Let me make sure this is the right one. Let's see. Oh, that's the wrong one. We're going to get to that in just a bit. Let's see. Here we go. Okay.
Hey guys, Recovery Addict here. If you can't tell, I'm grinning from ear to ear because we just had a little bugger of a hunt on another property where it was really promising and it just didn't turn up anything. We found a couple petties. While we were there, the family talked to us and said, we've got a story of a relative who lost a gold coin in their front yard. And I said, well, I have a metal detector. Let's do it. So they gave me permission to come metal detect this house. This is an older home here. We've been meticulously going over the yard, just gridding it off. Let me turn off my pinpointer here. Gridding it off, getting up to this old porch here, getting closer and closer. And we just got a 19 signal. And let me show you what we got here. Right here. You guys see what I see? There's the imprint. And I see gold. Oh, is that beautiful? That is a beautiful coin. We're going to be super careful with it. Let's take some pictures here from this other side. It's still in the plug, but man, this, I think this is supposed to be a $5 coin, is that right? And it looks like it's shiny as the day it dropped. Sorry if the camera's shaking, guys. I am so excited. This is amazing. This is my personal best as far as finds go. Let's see what we got here. You can see the imprint on the dirt there. It's on the back side of it. So we're just going to take a couple pictures, but the gridding paid off. It takes a lot of work. I'm drenched with sweat. It's about 90 degrees out here. But with the good chance of this coin being here, we knew we had to hit every square inch of the property. And we did. We dug a lot of false targets. We dug a lot of a little bit of trash. And it's wet, it's soggy, filthy dirty. We got gold. All right.
So as you can see, I was super excited as we were digging there. Hey John, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. But this coin, the story, this grandpa lost the coin and fell out of his pocket. We did the math. He's 85 years old now, and if we originally thought it had been in the ground for 65 years, if it had been in the ground for 65 years, he would have been doing the handstands in the front yard when he was 20. So it's probably closer to 75 years, because he was the youngest child in the family. So a coin that's been dropped to 75 years in the ground, that nobody's seen it for that long. That's just amazing. And it was still there that whole time. So it was incredible to find this coin. I will show you what it was like to actually pull it out of the ground. I'm tingling just thinking about it. It was such an exciting moment for me. This was on my bucket list. I had never found a gold coin before. I'd found other gold. I found rings and jewelry and things like that, but the gold coin had eluded me. So, welcome, Dan. Appreciate you joining. Anyway, let me show you the recovery here really quickly, and then we'll talk just a little bit after that.
Hey guys, we're gonna pull this out of the plug here for the first time, and that's a beauty. Look at that. I'm shaking so badly. Oh, the weight is incredible. We have a $5 gold coin. That is just amazing. That's incredible. You know, this really goes to show, you know, if you have a story of a lost item, whether it's a ring or gold or something on a property you still have access to, with a high quality metal detector, there's a great chance of recovering it. And to think, you know, this sat here for who knows how many years, until we could unearth it here. Super excited to have found it with my Excalibur 800. His Profine, sorry, not Excalibur, the Equinox 800 and the Profine 35. Couldn't have done it without my good friend Liam, little buddy over there, who was running the pinpointer with me, helping me find it in the sod. So we're gonna give this over to the rightful owners. It's just awesome to be here, to be able to find this with them, and wow, that's just neat. That's just special. Thanks guys for watching. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I am the Recovery Addict. You can find me on YouTube, you can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Twitter. Anyway, oh man, I'm not gonna sleep tonight. Thanks guys.
Okay, so the coin, I didn't mention it in the video, but the coin was a New Orleans half eagle. So it's a $5 coin. It's got an O mint mark, and it's 1842 is the date. Condition-wise, it's worn. It's been circulated. There's actually you can see a dent in the ring on the outside and things like that. But man, it doesn't matter. Gold coin is a gold coin. It is incredible. I'll show you just a little close-up here. It looks like that. And we'll give you the other side as well. The other side looks like this. Anyway, it was awesome. The fun part about this is I was with Liam. Liam, let me see if I can show you Liam here real quick. This is Liam. I believe Liam's 8 years old. He is a relative of the man who dropped the coin and lost it. Even though it was pushing 90 degrees and humidity was sky high, he was out just detecting and following me around like a trooper for hours. And he loved it. He'd find a target, he'd find a repeatable target, and then, you know, say, Scott, come dig this one. I've got something. And every time he found a target, it was iron previously in the day. And I was just searching for something where he could have a find where it was something good, where it was an artifact, you know, where it was a coin or something that he could really be proud of. So what happens when we went to the second property? It was so hot that he actually sat in his family's minivan with the engine going and the air conditioner on to stay cool. And I'd find a target, I'd dig the plug. It was heavy, wet clay, so I was digging a large plug because I did not want to scratch it if there was going to be a gold coin in there. So I've got an oversized plug, and I'd flip the plug over, and he'd come running out, and I'd hand him my pinpointer, and then I'd sort of guide him, because you can tell where in the plug it is just from the Equinox. I'd sort of guide him to that, and he would help me with the recovery of the item. So we flipped this plug over, about 8-inch coil. It was, or 8-inch plug, and it was about 6 inches deep. But we could hear it with the pinpointer in the plug, and he says, "You need to split the plug." So I just broke the plug open, and as I broke it open, it was just, the gold just gleamed. It just popped out. Let's see if I can show you what it looked like, but oh man, it was. Yeah, here it is. This is what it looked like. Just as I first turned it, you could just see the sun caught the edge of that little ribbed edge of the coin, and it was fantastic. Anyway, so the good news is we've got a little 8-year-old kid who is super excited about getting his own metal detector. The bad news is he may never find another find this awesome. So it sort of ruined him on day one, which is funny because I have another buddy that I took out metal detecting as well, and his first day we went and he found a gold ring on day one. And I'm like, it's not always like this. As a matter of fact, a lot of days you only find junk, or maybe a handful of coins. But anyway, super excited to share this with you. I'm super excited to get this coin back to its owner. I'm hopeful to have a picture of the man who dropped it, showing the coin here maybe tomorrow. We have given it back to his family. As I told you, this was a recovery. This wasn't me just searching a property and finding a coin and then finding the provenance of the coin. I did know from them that a coin had been lost on the property, and they even gave me an idea of which part of the property it was in. So the odds were definitely in my favor to find this coin, and doing this and knowing the story, we knew that who would get the coin before I even started. I told him, I said, I'm not interested in keeping the coin. I'm interested in shooting a video and finding it for you. It was a lot like a ring recovery in that way, but in this case, it was 75 years later. I have found rings for people that had been lost for a couple of years, and it's amazing to see something that means so much to somebody being returned when they think it was lost forever. And in this case, 75 years of thinking that this coin is gone, and the guilt from him taking that from the jewelry box and losing it, is something that's sort of been gnawing at him for most of his life. His parents are now passed on. Obviously, he's not going to be able to make restitution that way, but it's just awesome to see that we can give that back to him, and he can have some measure of peace in his elderly years. I just want to say thank you to all of you guys who support my channel, who watch me on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel. I'd love to get more videos like this out to you. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. Reach out to me. I'd love to tell you anything I can about this. As far as the details on the coin, this was a Equinox 800 that found it. It rang like a bell, solid 19 on the VDI. Every direction I rang it, and it was even though I listened to 50 tones. I know it drives people crazy. It sounds like a flute orchestra, one of my buddies said. But even though I have 50 tones turned on, this rang just a solid and clear tone. Once you hear it, you'll never forget. It was just amazing. I knew as soon as I put my coil over it, that it wasn't a penny, and this was the target we were looking for. So that was super exciting. Anyway, this is a find in the area was Stantonsburg in North Carolina. It's a small town out by Wilson, and it's not far from where I live. So it's exciting to have something like that, and basically find it in your backyard, sort of thing. You always hear about gold coins being found far away, but they are out there, and this just goes to prove it. So if anybody has any questions, put them in the chat. I do answer all the questions on YouTube and on Facebook. I try to let everybody know exactly how much I appreciate you guys watching and supporting me on this channel. So Hope you guys can get out there and find something cool of your own. If you've got a YouTube channel, go ahead and drop that in chat as well. I'd like to check out the things you're finding and the discoveries you're making. So stay safe, have fun. See ya.